Hey guys, welcome to my kitchen. This is what's for dinner. We are having winter stew for dinner tonight, and I'm making it in a crock pot. I don't have anybody to do my video footage, so hopefully this isn't horrible. I'm going to show you all the components. So, as I was saying, we are making it in the crock pot, so we've got our crock pot out. We are going to be using 3 large red potatoes, 4 stalks of celery, 2 parsnips. Now, if you've never had parsnips, they're actually pretty good. They're kind of a cross between like a flavor of like a sweet potato and a carrot. So we're going to put in 2 of those. I have a bunch of baby carrots right here, but we're going to put in approximately like the equivalent of having 3 carrots. We have 2 leeks here, which we're going to be slicing in little rounds, and then I'm going to cut those rounds in half. Now I have a bowl of water here because unfortunately leeks get really dirty on the inside. They're kind of like a really large green onion. So they have lots and lots of layers and they get kind of full of dirt. So after I've got them all cut, I'm going to submerge them in water and kind of wash them off. The dirt should fall to the bottom and I should be able just to skim the leeks out of there. We're also going to be putting in 2 cans of diced tomatoes. I'm not going to drain them, they're just going to go in just like this. I've got some, let me show you how much. I have 14 ounces of chicken broth. You can use chicken, you can use beef, or you can use vegetable, it doesn't matter. And then in this bowl we have our spices. We have a half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of rosemary, and half a teaspoon of ground thyme. I'm going to be chopping and washing all of the vegetables, getting them all into the crock pot. I'm going to put all the components, all the spices, the tomatoes that are in the can, as well as the chicken broth. It's all going to go in, and I'm going to cook it. I personally am starting a little later than I wanted to, so I'm going to cook it on high for 4 hours. If you plan this early in the morning before you go to work or something, you can actually cook this on low for 8 to 10 hours. I'm going to be serving it with some rolls for dinner as well, and there is one more step that happens 20 minutes before the crock pot is ready. So when that happens, I'll check back in with you. Hey guys, once after hitting the unrecord button, I realized that, yeah, once again, you can't have a cooking show if you don't explain things. So I showed you all of the components that are going in, but now I wanted to show you, once they're all chopped up, what they look like and what to do next. So I'm going to draw your attention down here in the crock pot. Yes, I'm short and it's going to be really hard for me to show you everything, so I tried to keep it all separated so you could see. So these right here are the leeks that I have washed already, and they have just been sliced in half moons. We've got our red potatoes that have just been in chunks. We've got fairly thickly chunked celery bites right here. We've got the carrots. I just kept them in their round form, their round shape, and I just made a bunch of rounds like this. They're like 1/4 of an inch thick. We're making stew, so you want them big enough. And it's also going to be in the slow cooker and cooking for a while, so you don't want it to be too thin or it'll just kind of turn to mush. These are the watch out, sweet pea. These are the parsnip pieces, and that's what those look like. So once I have everything in there, you got all of the stuff in the crock pot, we're going to go ahead and add 2 cans of our diced tomatoes. Oops. I've got my little one over here drooling over food. I'm going to go ahead and pour in all of our spices. It was half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of rosemary, and half a teaspoon of ground thyme. And we have our 14 ounces of either chicken broth, vegetable broth, or beef broth, totally your choice. So we'll get this all put together. I am actually going to have to stop filming, however. I am going to stir this all up. I'm going to turn this on to high. And it's going to cook, like I said, if you turn it on high, you're going to be cooking for approximately 4 hours. If you cook this on low, you're going to be able to cook it anywhere from 8 to 10 hours. And 20 minutes before dinner, I will check back in with you because we are going to be making some canned biscuits. Excuse me. we're going to be making some canned biscuits, and there's also one more step to making this stew, because if we don't add cornstarch and water to the mixture, it's going to make it super runny. It's going to be like soup, and we want this nice and thick like a stew. So I'll check back in with you 20 minutes before dinner's ready. Alrighty, time to check out what our stew looks like right now. It has been bubbling and boiling and brewing for the last 4 hours on high, and this is what it looks like. It's still pretty soupy, as you guys can see over here. It's still got lots of moisture in there. Vegetables tend to do that. We are going to thicken that up in the next 20 minutes. So what we're going to end up doing is, we have 3 tablespoons of water in here, and I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of cornstarch into the cold water. When you do this, make sure you are using cold water, because it does matter. So we're going to put 3 tablespoons of this cornstarch in here. We're going to stir it up real quick. And this is going to go right into our stew mixture in the crock pot, still on high. It's going to mix really nicely together. This is going to thicken up your soup-like mixture to a nice stew. So that's in there. It's all stirred up. I'm going to put the lid back on. We've got our biscuits over here, and they are ready to go in as soon as our oven is ready. So it's still preheating. It only needs to preheat for a little bit longer. So as soon as that happens, this will go in. And in the 20 minutes after that's cooked and that has been getting thickened up, we'll check back in and dinner will be ready. And we're checking in right before dinner. Check out our stew. After 20 minutes, the moisture has gone down significantly, and it actually looks more like stew than soup. So I'm going to add a scoop of this into a beautiful bowl, and we're going to pair that with nice warm crescent rolls just out of the oven, nice and hot. There's dinner. So that, folks, that is what's for dinner. We're having a winter stew with lots of good vegetables, beautiful smelling, wonderful looking, whatever, butter crescent rolls, and it smells amazing in here. It's gonna taste amazing, and I cannot wait to eat it. So I'm gonna log out of here and say goodbye. Leave me some comments down below, like the video if you like it, subscribe to see more. Take care, guys. Bye.